You want to be hardcore, you want to be extreme. Well, if you're like the Sandman, then you're listening to the podcast Drunk Wrestling History, dudes. And please be drunk when you hear it.
We've got Bush.
I like to fuck. Do you like to fuck?
It's just money shots, chairs all over Barrett.
Those guys with bang butts think they're a big deal. My dick is small.
What's up, Drunk Marks and Drunk Marquettes? Welcome to this week's episode of Drunk Wrestling History. I'm your designated host, Adam, and they are the Drunk Wrestling Historians.
This is Eddie. I'm drunk, I'm old, I'm fucking tired, and I work with fucking children.
And this is Scott, the man of 1,004 drinks.
Thank you all very much for joining us. This is our first recording of 2023. So, yay us. We're doing things.
Woo!
Trying new
I should have had a
things.
cheering sound effect.
New year, new beer.
Nice.
I do have two brand new beers right next to me.
And we will find out what they are in a sec. But first off, head over to whatamaneuver.net and get those Drunk Wrestling History t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, and onesies. New year, try some new attire. FFS, get a fucking shirt.
Buy a fucking shirt.
And you could do that at whatamaneuver.net. All right. What drinks
And
do
if
we
you
have?
want if you want a beanie, hit us up. And Scott's supposed to talk to the Beanie Broad at some point, and hopefully someday he'll do it. Ashley, I'm sorry we're taking so long.
Wait, who's Ashley?
She's a listener who hit me up about it when we first mentioned it, and right away said she'd buy two of them. And then like a week ago, she hit me up again and was like, "Hey, what's up with the beanies?" I said,
Damn, she's gonna buy two?
Well, one for her and one for her boyfriend.
Oh, I see. You know what would go great with the beanie is either a Drunk Wrestling History tank top or a Drunk Wrestling History women's cut shirt or a Drunk Wrestling History men's cut shirt or all of the above.
Absolutely.
Taking care of Ashley and the whole family. That's awesome.
And if I don't, and you know what, if I haven't mentioned it, I can't remember if it was since last recording or not. Thank you to Ted for buying a hoodie.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah. Oh, Adam, you're not frozen. Okay, I thought you were frozen.
Oh,
That shit does happen on the show regularly.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
One of the three of us is like stuck in limbo.
Yeah, I know. We already had that issue earlier. We should be good now.
All good.
Should.
So, okay.
We'll find out. What do we got to drink?
Okay, I'm drinking. I've got two things going on. One is a beer that is here for a special occasion that we'll get. I shouldn't call it a special occasion, but for a purpose that we'll get to in a minute. But my regular beer for the episode is the Misfits Fiend Lager that you got for me, Adam.
Yay.
Very nice.
I really like this beer a lot. It's a really good, lagers are not my favorite types of beers by far because most of them are fairly flavorless, but this one's really good.
Sweet.
Very nice. And I've got from Cellar Maker, Adam, this one is also from you. This is Dank Statement, a West Coast triple IPA. And Eddie, it's hopped with Mosaic, Strata,
Citra hops.
Something
Mosaic,
like that.
Strata, Citra hops, yeah.
And Simcoe and Centennial as well. So they really beefed it up with some hops.
So I assume it's very hoppy tasting.
It is very hoppy tasting.
It's got a nice bitterness to it.
Yes, it is a dank statement indeed.
Right. That's one of us drank that before when I talked about that dude Dan Kalinsky that I went to school with who called himself Dank. He would always write his name as Dank.
Well, this is a different dank. This is Dank Statement. I forget what the other one was, but it was a different can. But it was had dank in the title.
I wonder if Sasha Banks has ever drank this.
Good question.
Yeah.
Good. Well, you mean Monet or
Mercedes Monet?
Mercedes Monet, right?
It should have just been Mercedes Money. That would have been a cooler name.
Who cares?
Yeah, well, I mean, I care. She shows up in AEW. Adam's probably going to see her at the New Japan show.
Marks.
I'm going to the New Japan show?
Fuck that, dude. I don't know. Assumed you were. Fuck that, dude. I'd be going to that if we didn't have tickets for Anthrax that night.
Well, matches that take place in San Jose don't get 5 stars. They only get like 4.
I'll see.
No, they get extra stars because Meltzer can drive.
I think the one I'm trying to get to is Rampage. I'll check out New Japan see if that works out.
Yeah, well, let me know. Well, never mind. We'll talk about this off the podcast.
I have your information. We'll arrange.
You have my information.
Yes.
Yeah.
I learned the best words from Scott. I've got going old school with Dad's root beer.
Very nice.
Well done.
Yeah. Was it Dad's and Barks? They don't market, but they just sell like they're just steady where they are and
tried and
living
true.
lives. Yeah. All right. First off, Eddie and I unlocked a big achievement somewhat recently. This was about an
anal.
He what? It came out of your what?
Recent.
Oh, that wasn't recent. Oh, I understand.
No.
Okay.
So this happened I would say not even an hour after our last recording. We did multiple episodes, including our New Year's clip show. Eddie and I have been blocked by Ryback.
Oh, yeah. I was like, where? I have no idea where you're going with this. Yep.
Very nice. Very nice.
So
we insulted him enough with the roast to where he blocked our asses.
And it took like a year. I have no idea why.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That episode's hella old.
No, so what was it? All right, and literally anytime on Twitter that Ryback is trending, I just start reposting the link to the roast of Ryback, which, by the way, all of you can check out wherever you get your podcast.
Okay, so you got us blocked.
Very good.
Yeah, and like I didn't even say anything like, "Hey, listen to this idiot," which or anything. I literally just post the link, and then I think it was Eddie or maybe somebody else tagged Ryback on it. Block.
That's awesome.
Saw the title of the episode. Block. So achievement unlocked. And by the way, in that roast, I said nice things about Ryback.
You did.
I did say very nice things about him and how vegan diets are actually really good for you. You should actually look into it. But that oaf is never going to hear it again unless more of you start,
tagging him.
Yeah, tagging him and telling him that this is funny-ass roast. Yeah. And then maybe you should laugh at yourself once in a while. I just saw Rich Voss perform last week, and he was poking fun at me for having caveman-like hair. Funniest shit ever. So, yeah, if Ryback can't laugh at himself, then... what an oaf.
That hair is fairly Neanderthal.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You look like early man.
Thank God I don't walk around in a loincloth, though.
Early?
Yeah, that's true. You're anything but early.
And Ryback's like, these motherfuckers could have roasted Virgil. Why did I make their list?
No, we tributed Virgil.
That's true, we did.
Which since you're on Virgil, I got a tweet from JC, who is known for his Virgil story. And he told me that he's been trying to leave a review on iTunes for the show. And for whatever reason, it just won't let him. And I don't know if something's going on because we haven't gotten a review in like a year.
Come on, Tim Apple.
So for any one of you who listens to the show every week and hasn't left us a review, shame on you.
You must be so embarrassed.
But thank you to JC. So maybe people have tried to leave them and they just don't show up because JC said he's tried it like 3 times and it just doesn't show up.
Ryback told Apple to block our reviews as well.
That could be, yeah.
Ryback's at war with everybody.
So he tried it again this week. It's still not there, but he screenshotted it and sent it to me. So I always read the reviews. So the subject of it is buy a freaking shirt. And then
nice.
Then he goes on to say, do you love wrestling? Do you love drinking? Do you like senseless babbling and tangents? If so, this is the podcast for you. I've listened to the 2.5 hosts babble and stumble through each and every episode of Drunk Wrestling History and loved every damn minute of it. The knowledge of wrestling, the drunken antics, and accidental piss spillages will have you in absolute awe. Not to mention, if you buy a Drunk Wrestling History shirt, you will get all the poon you can handle while wearing it, unless you are Adam. There's no poon for Adam. So if you think any of this sounds badass, sit back, relax, and make a meat sauce slammer and enjoy some Drunk Wrestling History.
Dude, that's a badass review.
That is awesome.
Excellent review.
I don't know about senseless tangents. But
no, we would never go on a senseless tangent.
Senseless? Come
That
on.
doesn't sound like us.
That review itself should be a fucking shirt. So we'll see.
That'll be our next shirt. We'll put it on the back. Next thing, and then we got a tribute to do, but the next thing I want to do is just say hi and thank you. And goddamn, we've already gone 10 minutes, although the first minute or so was fooling around with Mike Jones, I guess, so we're probably only at 9. Just to our international listeners, I want to say hi and thank you to our listeners in Canada, the UK, Puerto Rico, Germany, Puerto Rico, that's appropriate for this episode, the U.S. Virgin Islands, New Zealand, the United States minor outlying islands, Australia, Ireland, Sweden, Thailand, and that one dude in India.
Thanks, that one dude in India.
Thank you, one dude.
And the dude in the United States major outlying islands. Yeah.
Okay.
And
There's a place.
And especially in Puerto Rico for this episode. And the other thing we want to do before we get started, and we'll make this quick, is, and this is going to be fun, we lost 2 wrestling-related people since our last recording. The first one is Don West, who I buried on our TNA episode, and that I made which I thought was a pretty clever joke about him in the roast. But even though I was never a huge Don West fan, I do recognize what he contributed to wrestling. He was a big part of TNA, and I was a huge TNA fan back in the day.
Yes, he was.
And I know he has a lot of fans in the wrestling world, so we just want to say salud. Well, I guess you don't say salud, because that means health. You don't say health to a dead guy. Rest in peace to Don West.
What Don West would say is, buy the beer and make a toast. Yeah, because he always selling the shit, dude. He made me buy so many fucking sports cards in the late 90s, it wasn't even funny. Shouldn't even need. That's how good of a salesman he was. And like you said, a huge part of TNA. So here's to Don West.
Very enthusiastic guy. I love listening to him. Don West. Love you.
So sip of Misfits beer for him.
Here's to you, Don West.
And then the other one, which just happened yesterday, is Jay Briscoe, which is fucked up. That came out of nowhere. You texted me last night. I was like, you're fucking kidding.
I wish I would have been kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And I know how big of a fan you were of the Briscoes.
Yeah,
I was a fan of the Briscoes. I used to watch Ring of Honor when it was on Mark Cuban's channel. I was a big Ring of Honor fan for a while. And then it was like it went off that channel, or I didn't have the channel anymore. Whatever it was, the situation, I lost access to Ring of Honor, but I was way into Ring of Honor for a minute there. We went to that Ring of Honor show, WrestleMania 29 weekend, right?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, and the Briscoes were on that show, right?
Okay, so this leads into my interesting note about you as it pertains to Jay Briscoe.
Okay.
You witnessed his first, because he won it twice, his first heavyweight title win in Ring of Honor. You were there for that show.
That's right.
Well, we were there for that show. We got to witness that, and it was a hell of a moment. Mark came out afterwards. They did a whole thing. He actually beat Kevin Steen, or as our fans know him, Kevin Owens. He beat him in the main event, and it was a great moment for the Briscoes and the family, and it was cool to be a part of that. Very cool.
Right. Yeah, that was super cool. That was a great show.
It really was, dude. Top to bottom, an awesome show.
So, yeah. So we talked yesterday. We were like, oh, we'll do a shot for Briscoe. And then I thought, you know what? Maybe chugging an entire beer is more Briscoe appropriate.
Absolutely.
And you seem to agree. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I have an entire... I took it out of the refrigerator like an hour ago to let it warm up a little so it doesn't give me brain freeze. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to slam this entire bottle of Corona. It's in a glass. I poured it in a glass. I'm going to slam it right now. And I'm recording this. I'm going to put this on Twitter or something tonight probably.
Let me screenshot this.
So cheers to you, Briscoe.
Cheers,
there we go.
Jay Briscoe.
Here we go.
That was awesome. You were like that guy on the Man Show.
No, that guy's way better at that than I am.
Yeah, but I mean, he has way more practice than you do too.
That's true. I don't know if I'm still recording.
You better be. Do you piss on your stuff again?
I'm not 100% sure I did record. I don't know. We'll see when we're done, I guess.
Well, no, we're not going to record a whole thing, and then you're like, oh shit, I didn't record anything.
Well, no, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, no, I mean the video.
Oh, the video. Okay. Okay.
Anyway,
I gotcha.
Anyway, we're almost on 15 minutes. Let's get in the fucking episode.
Well, hold on. Before we move into it, let's talk Jay Briscoe for a minute, because I mean, a legend I would call him a legend in the world of wrestling. I mean, he never made it to like, quote unquote, the big show like WWE or, I mean, he was on AEW for a minute.
Right.
On Impact for a minute. But I don't even know if you could say arguably, I think he's the greatest star in Ring of Honor history.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, the Briscoes as a team, by far, I mean, because they were there from day one.
But
right?
Jay
Or
Briscoe
very
himself
close
has
to it.
2 heavyweight title wins.
Right, and he was the Jeff of the you know what I mean? He was the Jeff Hardy of the team.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I would totally agree he was the biggest star that company's ever had. Absolutely, without question. You know, he was never like a household name. Like Punk or Bryan would be like the most famous guys who came out of there.
Right.
But guys who were known for Ring of Honor, yeah, it's him. For sure.
Greatest star in the history of Ring of Honor, 2-time heavyweight champion. I think it was a 13-time and current Ring of Honor tag team champion. 38 years old, a father, an amazing performer in the ring. Just more left to do in the ring at 38, but more importantly, more left to do as a father. And this is absolutely a huge tragedy. I hate it so much, but to know as a fan that I got to be there for one of his biggest moments in wrestling.
Yeah.
You as well, Eddie. I can look back on that and smile. And a picture went around. Jeff from Fully Posable posted it on our Twitter the other night.
Yeah.
From 2014's, it was the year after 29. It was actually at WrestleMania 30 in Louisiana. We went to the Ring of Honor show, got a picture taken with the Briscoes. And Kevin Steen, who was still with Ring of Honor at the time, photobombed the pic. He got his head in between Jay and I and kind of photobombed it. Mike the Cleaner caught that. Just a fun moment, and in a moment of tragedy, it's kind of nice to put a smile on your face a little bit, but all the best to the Briscoe family, and Jay is going to be sorely missed in the world of wrestling.
Absolutely, yeah. And when I saw that picture on Twitter last night, I responded, I said, three marks and a redneck.
How dare you call Jeff a redneck?
Yeah, right.
It's a name that was never on my radar, but just seeing everyone from each wrestling platform just share great things about him definitely made an impact, and great guys. So love to
even for NXT to stop the broadcast and take a moment to recognize him.
Yeah,
amazing.
Booker and
Totally.
The other guy. But
Totally,
yes.
yeah. It's really fucked up. It sucks. It sucks.
Yeah, it's a horrible thing.
Love and comfort to family and friends. Definitely.
Absolutely, Adam.
And if it turns out the chick who crashed into him was drunk, I guess slamming a beer would probably be in poor taste, but it's what
we don't
do.
know that yet.
We don't know that yet, and hopefully we don't know it till after I upload this next week.
Right.
Yeah.
You keep saying Puerto Rico for this episode. That makes me a little nervous if we're about to have another Unforgiven situation.
Oh, no.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Okay.
Adam, did you review the wrong show?
Okay. All right. Let's find out. Okay. Are we reviewing the Puerto Rico show?
Which one did I tell Which one did I tell you to review?
The one where Edge cashes in.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Okay. So, all right. So I already had this in my notes for later, but we'll get into it now. I thought until after like the third match that was the show I was watching. Because in my head, Edge cashed in.
This is gold. This is gold.
I totally
I'm loving
fucked
every
you
minute
over.
of this.
This shit
Adam, I
happened
totally
again.
fucked you over. I thought I screwed myself over. I didn't realize I fucked you over. I thought that Edge cashed in on the first New Year's Revolution.
This is
I
great.
didn't realize until about halfway through the show that the first New Year's Revolution was 2005. He cashed in on 2006. So I was watching the right one. I was watching the wrong one. Scott and I watched the wrong one. Adam, you watched the right one. I guess. Or I think I told Scott to watch the first one. I told you to watch the one where Edge cashed in, and those were not the same one.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, so Scott, you and I have the same notes. We watched the same show.
Oh my God, dude. This is fantastic.
Dude, it never would have crossed my mind that somebody would have watched the 2006 show. I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. I thought it was the Edge show, but it wasn't, and whatever. Never would have occurred to me that somebody else watched a different show because I can't keep my fucking years straight.
Oh, this is great.
I gotta stop drinking.
So essentially what happens is Adam has a set of notes for New Year's Revolution 2006. Eddie and I have notes for New Year's Revolution 2005. Which normally Adam drives these episodes, right? Like he's leading us into the matches.
Right.
He's giving us...
Adam, just go to Wikipedia because you can still
I can
say what match is up next and have nothing to say.
Oh my God, this is fantastic. Dude, in our 3 years of existence, 3+ years.
Okay, so
I've never been more proud of us.
Oops, I did it again.
Okay, so this episode is really about New Year's Revolution 2005 in Puerto Rico.
That is correct.
Okay. God fucking damn it.
What was that about? Setslets, tangents, and hijinks? Like the review.
Oh,
nailed
JC's
it.
right on.
Oh, JC tagged it like the perfect review for this episode.
Yeah. All right. Well, go ahead and open Wikipedia. Tell you what, Adam, while you bring that up, I'm going to pee because I know I'm going to have to pee during this episode anyway. So you do that. And if it's silence for a minute, I can cut this out. Whatever. I'll do like a little, I'll play a second of Mike Jones. Should I play Mike Jones for a second?
Sure. Go ahead and do that, and then I'll talk over it.
I'll play Mike Jones.
Oh, jeez.
Here we go.
Okay, so Eddie's gone. So for the listeners that are still with us, that haven't checked out already because we don't know what fucking show we're reviewing, Eddie used to keep pee bags at his desk. So in times like this when he's got to go, because Eddie has the bladder of a 3-year-old, that guy pisses like every 5 minutes. He used to keep pee bags from work at his desk. So when we'd record, if he had to go, he'd pee into the pee bag. The reason he doesn't do that anymore is because at the conclusion of one of our past episodes, he wanted to show us the pee bag, like as evidence that, hey guys, I peed during the show.
Like it's important that we know he used it.
Exactly, like we weren't going to believe him either way. This guy fucking squeezes the pee bag on accident, gets piss on his mixer, and screws up the audio on the next episode that we recorded. He had to replace his mixer. I think, I don't know 100%, but I think he sent that mixer back to Amazon and got a replacement for it. So he's like the R. Kelly of handling mixers.
What, he pee on a mixer? Oh, me? Oh, you're talking about me. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm explaining to the listeners why you don't have pee bags at your desk anymore.
I'm not allowed.
Right.
Yeah, I got in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
The destroyer of mixers.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, Adam, do you have the Wikipedia?
I have it. This episode's going to be interesting. All right. Okay. All right. I might as well say this now. So, in New Year's Revolution 2006, there was a part where Shelton Benjamin's mom shows up, is looking for food for Shelton. Viscera shows up while she's bent over, says, I want a slice of that sweet chocolate pie.
Viscera was so smooth.
Adam got chocolate pie.
So I'm going to be eating this chocolate pie in an episode that's not relevant.
For no reason.
No reason. There's always a good reason to have chocolate pie around.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
one way or another.
It's from Nations. Pie is delicious.
Yes, Nation's pie is the best. Well done, Adam. I applaud your efforts, dude.
All right. Let's get this shit over with. This for this week's episode that takes place in the year of our Lord 2005 at Coliseo de Puerto Rico in San Juan, Puerto Rico. This is New Year's Revolution 2005. This is a Raw branded pay-per-view. Let me see if I could pull up any quick drunk facts about this place.
Go ahead. I'll be right back. I'm just grabbing my mouse.
Okay.
It was...
First Latin America pay-per-view?
That's true. First major show was Van Halen in 2004.
Oh, so this is a new arena. It's brand new. Oh, that's why they went there, because it was a brand new arena. Because it was kind of weird. It's the only show they've done in Puerto Rico. Only TV they've done. I don't think they've ever...
Yeah,
I don't think they've ever done a Raw or SmackDown, but definitely the only pay-per-view they've ever done.
Broke ground in 1998, completed or officially opened in on September 4th, 2004. And...
Took 6 years to build an arena.
apparently. And Not even 9 days later, first major show is Van Halen.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's a drunk fact.
Look at you coming through it in a pinch.
Improv, baby.
Yeah. What's Scott doing? Scott's walking around.
Oh, sorry, I had to get into the beer.
Oh, okay. Very good.
See, I brought an extra upstairs with me. I think ahead.
Nice.
All right.
So Puerto Rico's an interesting place to do it because Puerto Rico has a lot of wrestling history. There's been a territory. So Carlito's dad has run the territory in Puerto Rico. I think he still does, but I could be wrong because he's got to be like 95 years old. But he was the guy who ran the territory there for years. And kind of every big star would go through there. Bruiser Brody was huge in Puerto Rico. Dutch Mantel was huge in Puerto Rico. He was one of those guys who spent a lot of time there. And Puerto Rico is notorious for having like violent fans, like crazy, insane fans. Like
You were mentioning that
about-
one they heat up nickels and throw it at people.
they would hold it in pliers, heat it up with a lighter, and stick guys with it as they walk down the
fuck.
aisle.
That's
Yeah,
even
like-
worse.
Right, like, yeah, stick it into your arm and shit. They would do shit like that. And throwing cups of pee was like very common. I've heard that. Everyone who's ever worked in Puerto Rico has told stories about that. So Puerto Rico was known to be a crazy ass place to work, but a lot of guys worked there. You know, like a lot of the big stars, Flair went there, you know, all those, the old territory guys who went to all the territories, that was one of the NWA territories. So it was never one of the biggest ones just by virtue of being in Puerto Rico, you know what I mean? Although there are a lot of people there, but they don't have a huge number of big cities like the way, the Northeast does or something. But anyway, I thought it was a really interesting place to do a pay-per-view. So getting into it, the stage is really cool. They put palm trees up there and they have like Puerto Rican flags hanging the way they do. Like when they go to England, they put up the Union Jacks on the stage, you know,
Yep.
and they put a phone booth and a taxi. Here they did the palm trees. So it was really cool. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really, it made it unique. It just gave it a different feel. And it was a new pay-per-view. It was brand new. This is the first one they ever did. So it was really cool for them to go someplace unique like that.
Yeah, and you mentioned Cups of Piss. Corey Graves actually tried to get booked on this show, but they didn't take him.
It's too bad. What about
Yeah.
Carmella?
I don't know.
Well, there definitely would have been a spot for her on the show, and we'll come to that.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right. Your opening match was for the World Tag Team Championship. The champions entering is Eugene and William Regal taking on Christian and Tyson Tomko.
Eugene.
So you got, Eugene, right? He's in a title match.
I still haven't figured out his
Curtain
character.
jerker.
What do you mean you haven't figured out his character? You know exactly what his character is.
No, I understand what the gimmick is, right? But did he start out as a joke because Vince McMahon has a sick fucking sense of humor?
Yes.
He's like, let's bring out this guy that's special needs and people are going to laugh at him and they're going to taunt him and we'll put him on TV every week. The people are going to fucking hate him. But then the people take to him. And at the end of his career, like, this guy is like super decorated. But
I don't think that was Vince's intention. I think Vince expected him to get over right away.
He thought that the
think
crowd
Vince-
was going to love him.
I think so, yeah, because he came out right away and was beating guys and right away could wrestle, was like really good in the ring. You know what I mean? I think he had this gimmick, but they didn't portray him in the ring as like a clown. Not that much. They did in this match, and we'll get to that. But no, I think he turned out the way Vince intended.
Really? See, I can't figure it out. If this
Yeah.
is exactly what Vince wanted with this guy, or if Vince just kind of threw him out there as a joke because he thought that special needs was like hilarious. I mean, Vince is a horrible fucking person, right? Like, he thought that was hilarious and was just like, let's throw him out there and it'll just be another character to throw against the wall and see what sticks. Like, or did Eugene just ended up like organically connecting with the fans and they're like, well, shit, let's fucking stick a rocket on this guy and see what happens. Like,
I mean, now that you say it, it does. The way when you say it like that, it does sound a little like something Vince would do.
oh, totally. I mean, he had fucking Triple H bang a corpse, right? Like,
Right.
the whole Katie Vick thing. Like, that's Vince's sick fucking sense of humor.
Yeah, Vince was like at a Make-A-Wish and came up with this shit.
Yeah.
Like Vince is at a Make-A-Wish standing in the corner laughing.
Yeah, like the Cena guy's onto something.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
make a character out of this fucking kid.
Yeah.
Like, I could just see that going through Vince's thought process. That's how I've never been able to really figure out the Eugene character. Like, was this supposed to happen? Or was it just supposed to be a big joke for Vince to get his rocks off? You know, I don't know. But look, Nick Dinsmore, the guy that portrayed Eugene, huge fucking talent.
He was great.
He was fantastic.
Whatever the situation was, it worked.
It totally worked, dude. Yeah, and you could see the crowd
way.
connect with him when he came out. So kudos to Nick Dinsmore for getting that character over.
Mm-hmm. So kind of right off the bat, we're a half hour into the show. I thought this was going to be a short one too.
You always think that.
I know. Kind of right off the bat, King says Eugene forgot to pay his brain bill.
Forgot to pay his brain bill.
It's just a fucking dumb Jerry Lawler joke, but
right. But you can hear Vince in his ear like, "God damn it, tell him he forgot to pay his brain bill." They'll think it's hilarious.
Regal and Christian start the match out, and Regal tags out to Eugene pretty quickly. Eugene gets in and he gives Christian a wedgie. So this is how you jerk the curtain in Puerto Rico.
Right. Yeah, comedy.
Yeah. Then he does the junkyard dog headbutts to Christian while he's down, and then he pretends to pee on him like an actual dog would.
Right, and Christian sells it.
And the crowd goes banana. Yeah, Christian sells it. Right?
Loves Eugene, dude.
Right. Christian tags out. Fuck this. And actually, my next note is Puerto Rico loves Eugene.
Yeah.
Then we get a kind of a wide shot, and I realize the announce desk is in the corner, which looks weird, but it's in the corner because of the chamber. You know, I was like, why is that big empty space here? I was like, oh, right, because the chamber. So it just kind of looks weird.
Yep.
Yeah. Heels take control after Eugene gets a near fall, and they start working his ass over. And Christian is in complete dick mode. He's slapping him on top of the head. Like he's in there. He's like just been bullying him. You know what I mean? Like the way someone. Yeah, he's like the douchebag at school who like fucks with the kids who get off the short bus.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. He's that guy.
He's like Nelson from The Simpsons, just being a fucking punk. Eugene hulks up, but then he tags out, which was kind of weird. Like it was kind of a hot tag, but it wasn't very hot. Yeah. You know, kind of like you sort of think he's going to start kicking ass, but he doesn't. He tags out. It was kind of weird. Yeah. And the Regal comes in, he starts whipping ass, but then Tomko takes over, and now we get a beat down. Now they're getting heat on Regal. And then Regal, I totally forgot about this. Regal broke his nose the previous Monday on Raw. And it's bleeding
is that
again.
Why he got color in this one? Because it broke open again? Okay.
Yeah, because JR starts talking about it, and he's saying, like, I forget how he's phrasing, but it was something along the lines of, like, I think he broke his nose again. And I was like, broke his nose again? When did he break his nose? So I looked it up, and he had broken it on Monday. So this is the following Sunday. And I was like, can you break your nose again, like, a week later? Or is it just
already, like,
broken?
fragile and it's going to bleed hella easy?
You know what I mean? It's broken. Like, it's still broken.
Yeah, it's still broken, so it bleeds hella easy.
So it was kind of weird, but that's why, I guess I didn't see what actually happened to him, but if your nose has already been broken, you know, like, it doesn't take much.
It wouldn't take much for it to bleed again, yeah.
Yeah. And the Regal's working his way to the corner. He's going for the tag. He's trying to get the fuck out of there. And right when he gets to the corner, Christian goes outside the ring and he jerks Eugene off the apron, which is great heel fucking work. I love that.
Eugene off.
Then we end up with the double down, and Regal goes to the wrong corner, which I can't remember ever seeing that in a tag team match before.
Oops.
Yeah, but is it like, you know what I mean? I think he's selling the broken nose because JR is saying like he can't see, his eyes are watered up, he can't see what he's
that
doing.
Makes sense. Okay, yeah.
It was actually pretty cool, and I don't know if that was something that Regal came up with like on the fly, because obviously he didn't mean for his nose to get busted open.
Right.
But maybe that was just Regal thinking on his feet, which was pretty cool. I thought that was actually really... I don't know if that the plan going into the match was he was going to do that, or he just thought it up when he was in the ring, but it was really cool. I like that a lot.
He probably called that in the ring.
Yeah, that's, Regal's super, you know how he is.
Yeah, got a brain for this shit.
So Tomko charges him in the corner, misses. Regal gets the tag. It's still a fairly cold tag. You know what I mean? It's not a good... It was just kind of a shitty... Like, they're working toward the hot tag, and it just really, to me, fell flat. But the crowd did pop for Eugene. And he comes in, goes crazy, cleans house for a minute, but then he does a drop kick, and when he comes down on it, I don't know if it was he fucked his knee up when he jumped or if he landed on it weird. He didn't looking at it, he didn't seem to land on it weird, so it's hard to tell. But I think
he did it in the air, like he extended his leg too far, maybe, and it was like a hyperextension.
Well, okay, so he ended up with a ruptured patellar ligament. Is what it was. So I don't know if you can do that by just extending your leg.
Yeah, I don't know,
you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean,
not like, something I want to try.
Well, I mean, like I do karate kicks in my bedroom all the time, and I've never ruptured my patellar ligament.
What are you karate kicking?
I don't want to talk about it.
I understand.
But so I don't know. I don't really know. But whatever it was,
I have questions to ask Carissa later.
You have her information.
Got it.
He goes down. He's holding his knee. I think Christian pushes Regal out of the ring, and then Eugene very sloppily rolls up Tomko for the win. It was like a worse roll up than Stone Cold on Owen.
I was just gonna say, if you had to like picture Stone Cold rolling up Owen after getting his neck broke.
But worse.
But worse, exactly.
Yeah, Stone Cold did a better roll up with a broken neck.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was a weird match, weird finish. It was the whole match just none of it ever clicked to me. It just seemed like they had like 2 hot tags and neither of them worked really well. It was just, I don't know if it was a chemistry thing or they didn't, I don't know what it was. Just the match to me was just, the whole time was weird. And then it ends up with Eugene fucking his knee up.
I'm watching that pin right now. Tomko could have gotten out of that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And
that was not a big stack up on him.
Yeah. And it looks bad, right? To the point where we're talking about what a shitty finish. I wonder if Eugene knew how bad the injury was. Like, sometimes I think that they should end these things in the ring to just be like, look, this guy's injured. They should not win. The title should not change hands, or it should change hands. Let's just call it in the ring and have a title change. Like in the case of Owen versus Stone Cold, don't have the title change hands because Stone Cold's neck is fucking broken. In the case of Eugene blowing out his patella, like, let's have a title change because these guys are not injured and Eugene is clearly hurt, going to be out an extended amount of time. Call it in the ring. Let's fucking change the title.
Yeah, right. And it seemed like that was the finish. Like the finish was what it was supposed to be. So I think it went from him fucking up his knee to the match and the ending coming up right away. So there probably wasn't even time for that.
But the referee should be able to call it in the ring.
The referee's not booking. You know what I mean? The referee's not making the call. Like, hey,
but if he
you're
sees an injury
now.
like that, you know.
But
like,
you don't know if the guy's hurt.
He could
No. You don't know. He could walk it off. You know what I mean? He could be fine the next day. And now the referee. No, a referee's not making a call like that. That's why they have a headpiece. I mean, not that's why, but that's one of the upsides to that. The Stone Cold one, I don't know if they had a earpiece at that point.
You might be right.
So long ago, they might not have had that. So even if they wanted to make that call, they might not have been able to tell the referee that quickly anyway.
Yeah, you know? You're right. Yep.
But I'm glad you brought that up because then we're moving on to the next match. But before the next match, Christy Hemme and her forehead are at the pool.
5-head, dude.
Or 5-head. And then Edge is in the back telling Christian he has an idea for Christian to become world champ. And Christian's like, I don't want to have anything to do with you, Edge. Like, get up off this.
Yeah, get off my coattails.
Yeah, and that's kind of it. It wasn't a whole lot. It had a brief encounter, and that was the end of that.
Speaking of brief, on that roll-up, you see Tyson Tomko's ass. So.
Oh, I'm going to go back and watch that and pause it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, Adam.
No problem. I mean, I'm giving you live reaction. So,
yeah.
Next match is for the WWE Women's Championship. Lita is the champion taking on Trish Stratus.
On paper, this could be match of the night.
Absolutely, yeah. It could totally be match of the night because the two of them had such great chemistry. They were always good in the ring together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So before the match, we get a video package, and it's fucking great.
Yep.
And it was like, I haven't watched a lot of this stuff for a while. I forgot how much I love heel Trish.
Trish was great,
She's
dude.
just such a fucking cunt. You know what I mean? She's so good as a heel. She told Lita, "You're going to lose to me just like you lost your baby."
Jesus.
Like, what a shitty thing to say. You know what I mean?
How rude.
Yeah, it's just how rude. This is like fucking venomous. Lita broke Trish's nose, and I think that was they had that match the previous month where Lita came back and she did the dive out of the ring, landed on her face.
Oh, bent in half.
Yeah, she did like a scorpion spot.
Right, yes.
You know, like her legs came over her head.
Right.
And I think that's a match where Trish broke her nose. And I was like, man, Trish is talking all this shit. And she came out and talked about, you put me in this mask, because this one she was wearing the mask. And I was like, she should have said, you took this face away from all the fans. Like, you know what I mean? What a just like bitchy thing to say.
Yep.
You've deprived all the fans of seeing this face.
Right.
But it might have backfired because the fans might have been like, yeah, you know what, Lita, fuck you.
No, Lita's the heel.
Yeah. So getting into the match, the first thing I think when Lita comes to the ring is Lita was so fucking cool.
Oh, dude, yes.
She was like the coolest fucking person in the company. Like, I started thinking we did the F, Marry, Kill Valentine's Day episode last year. If we did one if we did one where we played F, Marry, Kill and the chicks picked the people, I would marry Lita over, I think, everyone. Except Stephanie. Maybe except Stephanie, because, you know.
When that grouping, I believe it was Matt Hardy, Edge, and Lita.
Well, obviously, I would marry Lita.
Oh, I see. And who are you banging out of that trio?
Edge, for sure.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, any trio, I think I'm marrying Lita. She was just fucking cool, you know? She's just like the chick you want to hang out with. You want to go fucking, I don't know, go to like the Arno Core show with her.
Okay, but she's vegan, right?
Who cares? We don't have to fucking eat the same food.
What, you're marrying her?
I'm marrying
So you're
Lita.
going to go to a steakhouse. And like... Then you got Lita like, oh, what do you have that's vegan on the menu?
A Beyond
salad.
Steak.
A salad, exactly. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah.
That's, no. You bang Lita, dude. You marry Trish.
Maybe you're right. I didn't think about the vegan thing.
Yeah. See, deal breaker. I mean, no offense to vegans.
But Lita lives in San
But
Francisco.
offense to Ryback, who's not listening to this fucking episode.
Yeah. Or maybe he is.
Yeah. Although Trish lives in Toronto, and that's like my other favorite city, so... All right, I'm going to have to think about this.
What is there to think about, dude? You eat steak with Trish in Toronto. Married. Yeah, this doesn't sound half bad, does it?
No, it doesn't. Maybe you're starting to convince me.
All right. I don't know what it is. You started making a lot of sense.
And if you get that reference, you're awesome. Tweet us if you get it.
All I know
Trish's
is I'd eat
gear...
steak with someone who I'd fuck or marry. So, no. Anyways.
Like viscera?
No, he gets chocolate pie.
Oh, yeah, chocolate pie, not steak. That's right.
Yeah. Trish's gear is awful.
It looks like a worker's jumpsuit.
Yeah, she's in like brown coveralls. She looks like Billy Joel in the Uptown video, but it's like a shitty, ugly brown. Like it's just an awful color. It's an awful thing. Coveralls suck. I've owned coveralls. I don't like them. I don't like brown. I don't like.
Maybe it wasn't done yet. Like HBK's gear in that one elimination chamber, it was like brown and had some shitty hearts patched on there.
That was the first elimination chamber. Yeah, I remember that vividly because I hate that. I just don't like that color of clothes.
Yeah, it's awful. So maybe Trish's gear wasn't done yet.
I don't know, dude. I don't think it was going to be a different color when it was done.
Yeah, that's true, but it might have been dressed up a little.
Yeah, the seamstress didn't buy fucking brown fabric and decide to dye it, you know?
Yeah.
So right away, within the first minute or so, Trish is outside the ring. Lita hits a Luthez press off the apron, and you see her knee kind of buckle under Trish, and it looks bad.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. I'm like, is she hurt or is she not hurt? You can't tell because they get back in the ring, and Trish is kind of working that leg.
Right.
So right away, I'm kind of like, oh, okay. I guess her leg's okay because Trish is she kicked it, you know. And Trish like mounts Lita. She's punching her. She's beating her down in the corner. She's being an asshole. She won't let her get up. And Lita gets up, takes a quick Trish kick, and that's that. Trish wins, and she's new champion. And I think this is a situation where they did call that shit because Lita just won the title from her a month ago.
She had just won the belt, yeah.
So I think she probably said to the referee, my knee's fucked. I know the referee can't talk to the back, and I didn't see him throw up any kind of X. I don't know if they
medical
did the X
people coming out right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think they kind of just...
Yeah.
I mean, they knew that I'm sure they knew that she wasn't supposed to pretend to have a knee injury. So they probably right away were like, shit, her knee's gone, put Trish over.
Yeah, this changed WrestleMania plans too.
It did, right? Because they were supposed to be the WrestleMania match, and then Trish ended up getting fucking Christy.
Yeah, exactly. It ended up being Christy Hemme with Lita in Christy's corner.
Which was one of the worst WrestleMania matches of all time. It might have been the worst.
It was because Christy was not ready, and Lita was supposed to be a face, but the news broke that she was cheating on Matt Hardy with Edge right before WrestleMania, so the crowd was booing the shit out of both of them and cheering Trish.
Yeah, it was a complete disaster.
No, it wasn't. I love Trish. It was a great night.
Well, yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, I loved Trish at that show. That was when she came out in the old school Hollywood thing with the suspenders and the pinstripes. Loved it, yeah.
It was fantastic, dude. And then the faces were getting booed. She's getting cheered. It was a great evening.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah.
Yeah, Motorhead showed up. It couldn't have gotten any better.
Well, when you went to the strip club, it was better.
See, I wasn't going to talk about that, but yes.
Yeah. Well, we don't need to go into details, but you had a better night than anybody else in that arena probably did.
Better morning, too.
Oh, I didn't even hear about the morning. They did a good job of salvaging it. You know what I mean? They did what they could with it. They didn't just stop the match, but I mean...
And you knew Lita was hurt.
Right, but it should have been a great match, and it turned out to be a 3-minute disaster.
Yeah, this match was probably slated for 15 minutes or so, being a women's title match. So now you've got 2 matches in a row where the people in the match fucked up their legs.
Yeah.
One of which possibly the outcome changed. And what a weird start to a pay-per-view. I cannot recall another pay-per-view where it kicked off with 2 matches where they basically got injured.
Yeah, it's a weird show.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And then to actually have one of the finishes possibly change.
And the injury did not take place in the chamber.
Correct. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Right. To come.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah. And it's always those moves that seem routine that get someone hurt. Like when Rollins did that, he did that sunset flip from the top rope on Kane and blew out his knee.
The powerbomb, yeah.
A powerbomb, sunset flip powerbomb. Yeah, it's never like it's never Mick Foley going off the top of the cell. It's always stuff like that seems kind of not a big deal.
You've seen it a million times, but it's that one time where somebody fucks it up, and it could be the smallest tweak or something, and boom, that's a major injury.
Totally. So after that, we get Maria at the pole, and now I'm starting to think that even with the goofy matches, this might be a great pay-per-view.
Yeah, and here I am thinking, okay, this will be a good pay-per-view. I'm not going to whip my dick out at all. And I'm like 20 minutes into this thing, and it's already out. I'm like, well.
There's a sudden change of plans.
Yep. Fapomania.
So then we got Edge backstage. He's trying to get out of the chamber match because HBK is the referee. They hate each other, and he says Shawn's going to fuck him over. This is when it occurs to me that I'm watching the wrong pay-per-view. Because I was like, oh shit, that's right. He wasn't in the chamber. I don't even remember if there was a chamber at 2006. He just came in at the end, and I was like, he's in the last match, so this is not. Then I'm like, then I kind of I start doing the years. I was like, wait, this is 2005. Edge was in the Money in the Bank match in 2005. This is 2 months before he won the fucking Money in the Bank.
Yep.
Shit. I'm like, I watched the wrong match, the wrong show, but I thought I told you both to watch the same show.
This is why I texted you right before I started watching it. I was like, New Year's Revolution 05, correct? And you're like, yep, 05.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was serious about that, and I unfortunately told Adam the one where Edge wins. I didn't give him a year. So,
spoiler alert, sorry.
Yeah, so.
Don't worry, I'll be ready for that episode.
Yeah, and you know what's...
Adam's already got his notes.
We'll do that one maybe in the next couple months, because that show has been on my list since we started the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's a crazy ending to that.
Yeah, it was like since day one, that was one of the pay-per-views, and I've never rewatched it, so I've wanted to watch it for the last 3 years.
It's a hell of a show.
Here we are not watching it.
I might finish the rest of the pie that I got, so I may have to get another. So we'll see.
Yeah, get another chocolate pie, dude. It's always a good time for chocolate pie.
The Rock agrees. That's good pie.
Jesus.
Next match.
I feel like playing a DJ Quick song.
Next match is Maven taking on Shelton Benjamin. He is the Intercontinental Champion. And this is for said championship.
Puerto Rico hates Maven.
They hate him.
Did you hear the Maven's Malo chant?
No, I didn't hear that one, but I heard you are gay.
Oh.
Was Maven gay? Is Maven gay? Because I was like, is that like
I'm aware of.
Okay, because I was like, is that like a rumor that came out and people were chanting that? Or was it because he did have perfect eyebrows? Like his eyebrows look like sideways commas. So I was like, was it
very well sculpted?
Yeah, were they reacting to that?
Possibly.
Or was there a rumor that he was gay? I don't know where that came from. Or was it just like, we're just going to be dicks and call you gay?
I think that's what it was, yeah.
Okay.
Like that old school 80s,
right,
that whole mentality.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought the Maven's Malo chant was great.
Oh, I wish I had heard that. I didn't catch it.
Yeah, and the best part, he goes outside and he's insulting the crowd. And the match hasn't even started yet. It's just Shelton being in the ring pissed. And Maven gets on the stick, fucking insults the crowd.
Right, so right away, he just keeps taking a powder. He gets in the ring, dives right out. And he does it a couple times, and the crowd is shitting all over him. And I should have looked up when Maven got there, but I know he was really early on. He hadn't been there long at all.
No, not because he first came in, I think, as a face. But I don't think the crowd ever really took to him.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He came,
yeah, this would have been...
Are you talking about in the main roster?
Yes.
Yeah, on the main
Hey,
roster.
like-
When was the
Tough enough. I mean, he comes up with Al.
It would have been like 03.
He comes up with Al Snow. I want to say within a few months, he got the hardcore belt off of Undertaker.
Yeah, he had that thing with Undertaker where he eliminated
At the
him from the
Rumble.
Rumble.
Yep.
So that would have had to been at least a year. That was the 2000.
The 2004.
That was the 2005 Rumble, dude. We reviewed that one because that's the one where Pewter gets his ass kicked. That was
That was
2000.
the
But that-
05 Rumble, so that was only a few weeks after this?
Yeah, it would
Yep.
have been a few weeks after this. So he was still pretty new. He'd only been there a couple. We should have looked this up, but he's only been there a couple months at this point.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, but you're right. They hate him. Like he's got the most heat of anyone for the entire night.
Well, this actually kind of worked in his favor, I think, because I'm sure that they told them when they went out, hey, the match before you went super short because of an injury, you've got to kill some time.
Oh, they might have. Yeah, maybe that's why.
So, like, grab the stick, insult the crowd, and dude, like, I don't know of many Maven fans, but watch this match, and you're like, how did this guy not fucking get over?
Yeah, honestly, it did more for him than a good match would have.
100%, yes.
At this point, the show needs a good match because you've had two bad ones.
Yeah.
But they were like,
tag
"No,
wasn't that bad.
Well, it was okay. It was okay.
It was okay.
It was okay. But
Just don't
so he
want
tell-
a third consecutive unfortunate
Yes.
ending.
Yes,
Yeah,
you're
but
right,
that's
Adam.
what you end up. That's exactly what you end up getting. But it did the pay per view no good, but it did Maven some good.
It did.
He tells the crowd to be quiet so he can concentrate, which is hilarious. He's gonna leave. He's like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here." But then he's like, the referee's counting him out while he's walking up the aisle. He's like, "Oh fuck it, I'll go back in." Dives under the bottom rope, immediately gets rolled up, loses the match. And then he challenges Shelton to another match, and this might be the part where they were like, "Hey, go out there and do a second match."
Yes.
You know, because exactly that, like the time of the last match was like 3 minutes. Challenges him to a second match. He calls Shelton a chick, which Shelton is upset at.
So there's two women's champions?
Yeah, and he says, "You and Trish both have a title and no balls."
Yes. Yeah.
Then he gets in the
How
ring.
is he-
Shelton immediately hits a T-bone suplex for a 3 count,
Yep.
and that's it.
I'm watching him
and I
on the
thought-
mic right now. Some guy in the front row literally just flips him off. But I think everything that you're saying, I could picture him with his posture, like he is a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, funny.
So I kind of thought maybe they should have called an audible and had a real match because of the previous 2 matches. But like we were saying, like this actually helped Maven. You know?
And how good was Maven in the ring to go 20 minutes? Like, if that's the amount of time they had to fill was their match plus the remainder of Trish and Lita, like, maybe this was helping Maven more because they're just like, go talk.
Right. I mean,
Because the
maybe
dude could get a stick and talk.
yeah, maybe Maven could have done 7 or 8 minutes with Shelton carrying him.
Yeah, but 20, that's a tall order. I think this better suited his strengths.
It did, and this probably was about 8 minutes. The whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it worked. But still, we end up with another shit match twice.
What a weird fucking pay-per-view so far, right?
It's the weirdest pay-per-view, dude. Besides
Totally.
besides that No Way Out 98. No, this is probably weirder. That was a weird pay-per-view, but this one's probably weirder.
Yeah, I think this is more weird, yeah.
Yeah. So after the match, we get Candace outside at the pool rubbing Christie's back. And
Oh, I'm
unfortunately,
fast forwarding to that shit.
Unfortunately, Adam, you can't see Candace's feet. I'm sorry.
I know, I checked.
I'm gonna watch what I
don't-
can.
I totally checked.
I was hoping she put a foot in her butthole or something. That didn't happen at all. Not like the videos that I watched ahead of this.
No, right.
Or paused and during this.
Yeah.
But that's a different story. I don't want to talk about it.
You got to watch Skinamax if you want to really see Candace.
Right. And we mean see Candace.
Yeah. Then we get a replay of the Arab-American debate where Muhammad Hassan debated Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross, and he almost killed JR.
Yeah, who would have thought that would have devolved into a brawl?
Yeah, right.
I would have never guessed that.
No one saw that coming.
No, dude. That never happens in wrestling.
Yeah. Then Muhammad backstage explains that the people in Puerto Rico hate him and Khosrow as much as the rest of America, and also Khosrow got his wallet stolen. And they get a huge pop from the crowd for that. And wrestling fans in Puerto Rico are just the same as they are here. And then to the next match, Adam, if you can peel your eyes away from Candace.
Oh, fuck you. I'm watching this.
He's in
Put your
deep
dick away,
thought,
Adam.
dude.
What?
Yeah,
I'm watching
he's a deep
Candace.
thought.
Leave me alone. You told me.
Yeah, only I show my dick to each other, to you guys.
Oh,
on the
they
show.
cut to Benoit? All right. Okay. Next match is Jerry the King Lawler with Jim Ross taking on Muhammad Hassan with Daivari.
Hassan's first pay-per-view match.
It's his first match, right?
I think it might have been, yeah. Unless he had a Raw match or something. But yeah, it's definitely his first pay-per-view match.
Yeah, okay. Right. It's one of the two. I think it's his first match, but yeah, you're right. It's at least his first pay-per-view. So JR is in Lawler's corner, so there's no commentary.
Which is really strange.
Oh, really?
And it did this match no favors.
No, it didn't. It needed some color on there, and
you can just listen to Carlos and Hugo.
And oh, that's a good point. I should have switched it to that. Yeah,
that's true. You could do that.
I didn't even think about that. So right away, Lawler feeds into 5 body slams, and I'm like, what the fuck? A guy who's been wrestling
Slam City, bitch.
Yeah, a guy who's been wrestling 35 years feeds into 5 body slams. Like, he doesn't know better to not get caught in a body slam. You know what I mean? The rookie
is one reversal.
Right. Or one like pop up and back away. You know? It was kind of stupid. Lawler catches him with a boot in the corner, and then Muhammad takes a powder, and he goes and gets in JR's face and starts talking shit to him. And Lawler hits him from behind, and they get back in, and Muhammad immediately, he turns it around, he takes the buckle cover off. And then Lawler rolls him up for like a 5 when the referee is dealing with the turnbuckle, which was kind of weird. I don't know why you got this brand new guy who you've got big plans for. And I understand protecting Jerry Lawler, but Jerry Lawler's not the guy you need to protect. You know what I mean? Like when Hogan got the pin on Warrior when the referee was down, that made sense. But there was no reason to do that with Jerry Lawler. You know,
he's an announcer at the end of the day.
He's an announcer. He's not a full-time wrestler. He's 25, 30 years older. That was kind of weird. And that might have just been, Lawler might have just gotten in the ring and called that spot himself.
Maybe.
You know, I know Vince isn't necessarily right there with them booking these, but I don't see Patterson or one of those guys even necessarily doing that.
Right.
So, Muhammad gets a camel clutch on him, but Lawler gets out, which to me, this should have been the end of the match.
That should have been it right there. Yeah.
But I guess that move hadn't yet been established as his finisher, so he didn't get out of Muhammad's finisher.
Yeah, it ended up becoming his finisher, but since this is kind of his first pay-per-view, nobody really knew what that was yet.
Right.
Yeah. For anything, you may have thought this was like a callback to the Iron Sheik or something.
Yeah. Right, he's an Arab. He has to do a camel clutch.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Then we get a boring chant, which is our first one of the night, as bad as these matches have been.
Right?
Jerry Lawler's the guy who gets a boring chant. Lawler makes a comeback. He hits a DDT, pins him next to the rope, and Daivari puts Muhammad's foot on the rope. And then Lawler chases him, and he runs into JR, and then JR like fires up like he's going to beat up Daivari. Or what, you know, and he gets a big pop. Then Lawler chases him through the ring, and he gets caught, but Muhammad catches him. It was the whole thing just became like a big clusterfuck. And what was the finish? That's where the finish happened, but how did he beat him? How did Muhammad beat him?
Hassan hits a mic check.
A mic check, yeah, and pins him.
Which I think that was his planned finisher, but the camel clutch worked so much better for him.
Totally. Yeah, so this match was another wreck.
It really was, dude. It wasn't fantastic. Yeah. It didn't showcase Hassan at all, really, like to what he could really do.
Right. They should have had him in there with fucking Eugene or something, who he got into shit with a couple months later at WrestleMania.
Yeah, exactly. There was more that could have been done with Hassan at this, not with Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, it was all bad. The whole thing was it was bad. It was a wreck.
And then Coach comes out for commentary after the match.
Right. He comes to replace Lawler. He couldn't come in during this match. Yeah, the whole thing was bad.
Dude, yeah, like this. You're right. This match suffered not only because of the in-ring, but because of no commentary. Mm-hmm. It was it was bizarre.
It was really bizarre. It was fucked up.
A really fucking weird pay-per-view.
Yeah, it is.
Like every turn at this pay-per-view has been fucking weird.
Right. So after the match is over, I'm like, we better get fucking Elizabeth Hurley at the pool after this. Or Maria Elizabeth at my pool, anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? But no, we get Orton and Batista backstage. But at least there were tits. And that was kind of a weird backstage promo they do because the camera is shooting over the set, which I don't think I've ever seen in WWE, because they just have like a little set they build back there. Yeah. And you can see over the top of it.
Yeah, kind of weird.
You could see the...
I don't know if they got like
I'm looking at it. You could just see the bleachers and whatever apparatuses and yeah, that's just something that you put in your backyard pool party.
Yeah, it's goofy. It was really weird. I don't know. Maybe they got like a local guy who didn't know how to shoot their stuff. I have no idea. And then we get into the next disaster.
What?
I don't know what to call it.
The match over a dead baby.
What's the next match?
Yes, the dead baby match.
The next match is... Oh, God. Okay. It's it's Kane and Footski.
Footski. He was loving the pool bits.
Oh yeah. Except they didn't show Candace's feet.
Right.
So as it's getting started, JR says it's going to be ugly like many of Coach's women.
Ah.
Oh, damn it,
And
JR.
there's a sign that says Snitsky is dead men. Which is pretty cool. I like that. They get in the ring face to face. I forgot how big Snitsky was. Snitsky was fucking huge. He
was
as
a
big as
big
Kane.
motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, he's a big fuck.
Yeah.
Big fucking
He's
dude.
as tall as Kane, probably more... He is more jacked, I would say.
I don't know
Okay,
about
maybe
that.
not-
He's
Thicker.
He got
He's got
okay,
kinda
the
skinny
similar weight,
arms, actually.
similar weight class. How about that?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, once you get over a certain weight, you're a super heavyweight anyway. But Kane fucks him up early. He hits a really cool power slam. But he gets caught in a sidewalk slam. They go outside the ring really early on. Snitsky lifts the floor mats, but Kane hits him with a baseball slide, which is not a Kane type of thing to do.
That is not
No.
a Kane move.
Yeah, Kane comes out and Snitsky cuts him off. He goes for a power bomb onto the concrete, but he ends up taking a backdrop onto the concrete. And JR explains that the concrete didn't feel a darn thing, which is one of those great JR calls. It was just such a clever, creative thing to say. Kane goes for that top rope clothesline back inside the ring and gets caught by Snitsky. Snitsky's in control and he ends up bending Kane around the post, which was kind of cool. Like he's just like being like mean, just like torturing.
One of
him.
Kane's
And that's some big man
boots.
shit. You don't see Kane get handled like that.
No. But except for his matches with the Undertaker or Big Show, yeah, he never gets kind
Right.
of worked over and manhandled like that.
Yeah, so he
Right.
kind of let Snitsky get some moves in here.
Kane's
He did.
boot
Yeah,
is
he let
unlaced.
Yeah, that's weird, right?
Yeah, he's got that Velcro thing across the front. It comes undone. That would happen on occasion with him, like that flap. So the match is kind of slow, but Snitsky further slows it down with a bear hug because you don't want the crowd to be too excited.
Right, they can only handle so much.
Yeah. Yeah, right. There's only so much they can deal with before they go crazy.
Another 5 injuries.
Kane takes a body slam, but 3 times in a row he does a sit up and takes a kick to the face. He just sit up, kick to the face, back down, sit up, kick to the face, blah blah blah. I didn't like that. I thought it was kind of stupid.
Yeah, they thought it was working great, apparently.
Yeah, like Kane's like, well, that resulted in a kick to the face. Let me try that again.
Yeah, let's do that 2 more times.
Yeah. And then outside, Snitsky goes for a chair shot, and we finally get a look at his back knee. And I'm like, why didn't that guy wear a fucking shirt? Dude, his back is gross.
See, I wasn't going to talk about that.
Oh, dude, that shit looked like a fucking, like a topographical map or something.
See, when you mentioned the backdrop on the outside of the concrete,
Right.
I was going to mention the explosion that took place.
Yeah, he'd be the first guy to get color from a backdrop.
Ooh.
Like, couldn't he get something for that? Like Bacutane or something? Like, I mean, he was a mess.
It looked like somebody finished on his back.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't even want to. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Adam. I don't even want to think about that.
What, finishing on Snitsky or the back knee explosion?
God, it's like paint by numbers or connect the dots on their shit.
It's connect the dots. Connect the dots.
You put Candyland on that thing.
It's like a game of centipede on his back. Ooh.
So we're back inside, and Kane's fired up, and he starts beating on Snitsky, and then he's like, "I'm gonna try the top rope clothesline again," which to me made no sense. Kane's punching him. He's got control of him, and he's like, "I'm gonna walk over here and see if I can hit him with a fancy move instead of punching him to death because he killed my baby."
Right.
You know what I mean? Once you get control of a guy like that, you should strangle him or punch him until he can't move anymore. Like pain,
Right.
You know? And don't go do something to entertain the crowd. It didn't make any sense, you know? Like that's when I know that's one of Kane's big spots, but maybe you don't do it this match. You don't have to do it every match.
Yeah. Fight the match like you killed your baby.
Yeah, exactly. Right. We get a double down. They both go for a choke slam, like they've got each other by the throat, and then Snitsky bites Kane's ear, and somehow we end up in another double down from that. And then Kane sits up, and we go right to the finish. Kane hits a tombstone, and that's it. And now to recap the show, without going on first, Gene Snitsky has been in the best match of the night.
Yeah, go figure.
So that's the kind of show we're watching here.
Right.
Yeah.
When Snitsky is the guy getting 5 stars.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Sorry,
It's crazy.
3. It's in Puerto Rico,
Right.
not Japan.
Yeah. Japan would have been at least 6.
At least.
And then we're back at the pool, and cool, Stacy's there.
Oh, is this the game of chicken? Is that when this happened?
Yeah, then they do like a chicken fight.
Okay.
It's like Maria and Stacy and Candace and I don't know.
Val Venus is there. They're hitting each other with pool noodles.
Yeah, Simon Dean shows up. Val Venus is there, and like Hurricane and Rosie are there. And we end up with all the chicks on all their shoulders, and we get a chicken fight, and Christy wins. And I'm wondering if they flew them to Puerto Rico to shoot that, or if they shot it back home. I looked it up. Hurricane and Rosie were in the dark match against La Resistance, who, Scott, you and I ran into them at Scores.
Yes, we did. I didn't want to mention their names, but yeah, we did.
Yeah, we ran into them WrestleMania 20 weekend.
At a strip club.
At a strip club like the night before, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like Del Rio in New Orleans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how they celebrate the night before WrestleMania, folks.
Yeah, so Hurricane and Rosie were on the show. Val Venus was not. Simon Dean was not, and none of the chicks were.
No.
So they might have shot this. Raw was in Connecticut the previous Monday, so they might have shot this somewhere in that area.
Okay. And dude, the people walking around the pool couldn't have looked less interested.
Oh no, they're just ignoring it. Like nothing's going on.
Yeah. They don't even notice the cameras.
Yeah, right.
And these hot chicks in bikinis and Christy's top coming off in the pool, didn't notice a bit of that.
Right. Well,
that happens every day apparently in Puerto Rico swimming pools.
Makes
me want to go to Puerto Rico, actually.
Yeah, like if Sonny
We're not
had
traveling
been
far from Mania. Let's go to Puerto Rico.
Shit.
If Sonny had been in the pool.
Yeah, if Sonny been in the pool, it would have been a different story. You would have had a traffic jam out there.
Right. Well, let's be clear. Sonny 97, not Sonny 2019.
Whoa. Duh.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. All right, let's get on. I got to pee, but let's get through the next match. I think I can make it through the next match.
Oh, the main event?
The main event. Yeah, now we're going to get to the main event.
You're going to want a pee bag, dude.
I don't have any. I'll deal with it.
Hold on, I'm watching Candace. She's with Hurricane.
She's on his shoulders.
Yeah. I'm watching the chicken fight right now.
You gotta be okay.
Adam's about to pass out.
All right, let me get my water. Okay. All right. This is
let's get to the last match.
This is your main event. This is
what happens when we decide to do one show in a night instead of 2. Fuck around.
Right. Senseless tangents.
This is an elimination
It's a great way to describe it because there is no sense to this.
Again, he hit it spot on.
Announce the match. I'm going to grab a beer, but it's right there. I'll be right back.
This is an elimination chamber match for the World Heavyweight Championship. It is Triple H with Ric Flair, Chris Jericho, Randy Orton, Batista, Edge, and Chris Benoit.
This is kind of a who's who
of
the heavyweight title picture.
Shawn Michaels is the special guest referee. Doesn't say on here who's the champion.
Triple H.
Triple H.
Oh wait, no. The belt is upheld.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is it?
Yes, the belt is upheld.
Why? Because
stripped from
Benoit
somebody
had it after WrestleMania. He lost it to Orton. Then how did it go vacant? I don't remember this. I wasn't aware of that.
I think I've had too much.
That's
to drink.
fine. I can find out. Go ahead.
Yeah, the
Keep
belt was
going with setup.
upheld.
I'll find it.
Look at us doing research.
Shit. Yeah, Orton had it.
Well, let's get into the match while Adam looks that up.
I want to say it was like a double pin or something. Oh, that's right. Benoit made Triple H tap out while Jericho had him in a Boston Crab or something. There was an issue where oh no, it was Edge. I think Edge and Triple H, there was a pin, but both guys' shoulders were down or something weird like that. Or somebody was tapping while somebody was pinned. Adam will find it. But that's why the belt was upheld. There was no champion going into this match. The winner got the title.
Okay,
So
here we
it's
go.
Triple H.
Vacated after a double fall occurred in a triple threat match involving Chris Benoit and Edge.
And Triple H.
Look, at least that's what Wikipedia is saying.
That makes sense.
But it makes more sense if more parties were involved, therefore needing a chamber match.
Well, in a triple threat, there would definitely be one more party involved.
Oh, well, it just didn't say who was in that match, but that other party.
Yeah. So
Shit-
there was
makes
like a
sense.
tap out in addition to a pin.
Shit happened in Baltimore, Maryland on Raw, and therefore this match is happening. So there you
Yes.
go. So you got Triple H, Randy Orton, Batista, Edge, Jericho, Chris Benoit, and HBK as the referee. Have there ever been 8 more talented guys in the ring at one time? Besides maybe a battle royal, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, this is, like
This
I was
is
telling Adam
stacked.
when you stepped away, dude, this is like a who's who.
Right. This is especially
stacked-
of that era, because this is before HBK was retired. HBK
Right.
he'd only been out of retirement for like 2 years at this point.
couple
So,
years,
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, like less than 2 years actually. No, right around 2 years. A little
It was
more.
about 2 years.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, has there ever been a collection of wrestlers like these are all Hall of Famers? Jericho, well, besides Benoit because he killed everyone, but besides that, he would definitely be in the Hall of Fame. But HBK's already in, Edge is already in, Batista was gonna be in, but that got put away.
He's just waiting to be when he's available.
It's a schedule
at the
thing.
thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Right. And then Triple
Orton's
H
still
is in.
active.
Orton's still active. Hopefully he comes back.
And
I know he
Jericho's
has that
wrestling
issue
for a competitor, so...
for 10 more years, so he'll go in there probably as soon as his contract is up over there.
Right, and let's remember, too, like, Batista and Orton are very, very young when this match is happening.
Totally, yeah. So one of my notes was actually that Jericho, they're all young. Jericho's young, Edge is young, but Batista's not that young, but he's a rookie. He's young he's early on in his career, but he's not
Young
actually
in the
that-
business, yeah.
Yeah, he's young in the business.
He's got
not
the
that young.
Hideki
Like, he's in his-
Matsui treatment going on. He has experience, but he's in the bigs for very short. As of
Yeah,
this point.
I mean, compared to, like, Benoit, Triple H, Edge, and Jericho, Batista and Orton are very, very young in the business.
Yeah, right. But yeah, and then even Jericho, he's been there over 10 years, but he's young,
Yes.
because he started really young. And Edge, yeah, it's
Edge
a lot
only
of
been there
young
since
guys.
98. Yep.
Right. Yeah. So we get Jericho and Benoit starting off the match, and actually during the entrance, I forgot how cool Benoit's music was. He had great music.
Yeah. Less
you
you
don't
say
like it?
about him, the better.
Oh, I'm going to say a lot about him in this match, but
That's okay.
What
And
do you got?
let's not forget to mention also Batista's last to come into the match because he did the Beat the Clock challenge.
yes, right.
So
Should I
Batista's
just
the last cell to open.
Should I refer to Benoit by a code, like a you know what I mean,
Yeah.
like a gold dust noise when he had Tourette's, like something like that.
Right.
Let me see if I can do you think? Let's see if I can get through this whole match without forgetting to refer to Benoit as.
Yeah, something like
Oh,
that.
that's a better one. That's quicker. Okay. Anyway, and Jericho start, and they're doing some like mat wrestling, and they both are really stiff, and it looks real. And Jericho's taking some gnarly fucking chops, and no one's really controlling it at all. Like it's very back and forth. They're just both doing shit to each other.
Yeah.
But they look like they're beating the shit out of each other. Like it looks like a real fight. It's really fucking good.
Yeah.
And right before the 5 minutes is up, it's kind of a little bit of let's go back and forth. Let's kill some time. Let's get in there and do shit. Kill time. Don't really make anything happen.
Yeah, we don't need to kill each other, but we can make it look really fucking good.
Yeah, and we got to get to that 5 minutes because then the story really starts to pick up.
Right. Or the crowd chants HBK while you're going at it.
Exactly right. And right before the 5 minutes is up, hits a no. What was it? Ooh.
Yeah.
He hits a top rope suplex. That looked fucking great, and then you get the 5-second countdown in Spanish, which I loved. I didn't even think about them counting down in Spanish, and it was fantastic.
Yes. And I'm like, we need a rumble here.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. I would go to that, dude.
Oh, for sure, that would be fantastic.
I hella want to go to Puerto Rico anyway. You know, like that's really high on my list of places to go. So like, that would be probably I might go to that.
That would be fantastic, dude. You're getting the countdown to each competitor in Espanol. I fucking loved that. That was great.
And I know those. I know those numbers.
Yeah, but I'm used to counting forwards. I'm not used to counting backwards. I would fuck it up.
No, it would be yeah, it would take some concentration. They didn't teach you that in Spanish 1 or 2.
No.
Triple H
You went
or
1 through 10.
Whoever the fuck. Get this going.
Yeah.
So, you know, they have the cage match music that
Yep.
They don't play that for this. They play the fucking Jaws music.
Was it Jaws music?
I mean, it wasn't exactly the Jaws music, but it was the Jaws music.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it hella sounded like the Jaws music. It was really bizarre. Like
maybe in my head I was playing the din 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 din.
Yeah, if you go back and watch it,
even notice.
it's not. Yeah, it was a trip. That's weird. So the next one in the match is Triple H, and he goes to work on both of them. Just comes in and starts fucking them both up.
Yep, he's fresh.
He takes them both out, and at this point, it's the first time anyone has hit the cage, and is busted open
Like bad.
Badly, yeah, right away.
Dude,
so
did you see that puddle of plasma on the fucking floor of the cell?
Oh yeah, it was a mess.
Oh
yeah.
God, that was gross, dude. Like, I don't know if he bladed too deep.
Have you ever gone to donate blood and taken the bag and smashed it on the ground?
Never.
No, I've never done that either, but that's what it would look like.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, if you had to picture it, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like someone spilled a pint of blood on the floor of the match.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, it was crazy. And Triple H is trying to open him up more with fists to the face.
Yep.
I'm
then
just
Triple H
picturing
ends up
that scenario. Why would you slam it on the ground?
Well, you yell Slayer first, and then you slam it on the ground. And...
You fucking Slayer.
Yell Opa! Right.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. Fuck. I almost ripped my headphones out of the recorder. That was fantastic. Triple H takes a backdrop from Jericho over the rope to the floor, and that's the first time we see someone land on the floor.
Yeah.
And goddamn, dude, that thing has no give. It makes this noise. And
the sound.
They clearly don't. So it's the thing is built in panels, you can tell, and they clearly don't bolt those down. They're sitting on rails so that they can make that noise. You know what I mean? They're not secured in a way that you could.
Yeah.
They're just sitting on that, so they will, boom, with that impact, make that noise.
Yeah. It's just like a slap. It's just, it sounds gross.
It does. Yeah, it just sounds so bad. Then he does the spot where Jericho, he holds the top rope and Jericho pulls his feet and he lands on it again. Then we get, the countdown comes again, and I didn't catch it the first time, but there's a gong before the Jaws music starts.
Oh.
Like a big, like the Gong Show, or like, Looks to Kill, you know what I mean? A big gong goes off.
I might have been watching Christy Hemme nude pictures or something while that was happening.
Oh yeah, I mean that makes sense. I'd rather look at Maria nude pictures, but you know,
yeah, to each their own.
You know, it takes all kinds.
Yeah, sometimes I'm into foreheads. What can I say?
Jericho does a spring. So Edge comes in. Jericho hits a springboard drop kick on Edge to the outside. But when he goes outside, he ends up taking a slingshot into the cage. Triple H goes out there. He goes for a pedigree, and he also takes a slingshot and lands hard on that metal. Like Triple H is just bumping his ass off in this match.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Jericho's busted open. Triple H is bleeding from the bridge of his nose.
Yep.
Do you think he really hit his face on the chain? Like, you wouldn't blade the bridge of your nose, right?
No, that was definitely an accident.
Yeah, like I've never seen anyone
not
bleed. Unless it was just really clever, like when Piper bled from his ear, you know?
Well, I think he was meant to get color in this match. I just don't think it was right there.
Not right there. Yeah, I think you're right. And then not a whole lot happens then, or, in that little segment until Orton comes in, and he goes right after Triple H, because this is after Evolution had turned on Orton. Orton hates Triple H.
Yeah.
Evolution at this point is like the evil empire, and Randy Orton is like the top. He's basically one of the top baby faces in the company anyway.
Yeah. Oh, let's not forget Jericho hit a ghetto blaster on Edge.
Oh, did he?
I'm seeing that
He did.
Triple H
Almost pinned him with it,
spot
too.
right onto the cage
I think
right
I might have
now.
missed that.
Oh, something. Yeah, that doesn't look intentional. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Orton hits a RKO on Orton or on Jericho, and he doesn't go for the pin, and his dumbass ends up in a crossface. Triple H is talking shit to him while he's in the crossface.
Yeah, that was actually hilarious.
And then lets him go, and he puts Triple H in a sharpshooter. Like Triple H just fucked up.
Yeah.
And then Triple H takes the RKO.
Yeah, while he has the sharpshooter on Triple H.
Yeah, so now we have a situation where everyone is down and they start showing wide shots, and this is when I realize how disgusting the mat is. Like, it's a major, biological hazard. You know what I mean? It's covered in blood, because everyone's bleeding at this point.
Yeah, it's worse than the Florida O'Farrell Theater. Or at least on par with it.
Yeah, it's on par. You can definitely catch the same diseases from it.
True, yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put my tongue to it.
No.
Well, I mean, not for free anyway.
Yeah, and if anyone doesn't know what O'Farrell Theater is, it's gone. It closed, but go ahead and Google it.
Legend.
Yeah. Two people on this podcast had bachelor parties there.
Mm-hmm.
One can't get laid with a
right
Drunk
now.
Wrestling History t-shirt.
Only I'd worn mine.
Yeah, right. You might not have had to pay as much. Edge goes for a spear on Orton. He misses and he hits HBK with the spear. And then we get to what Edge was afraid of. Right after that, he hits Orton, but he can't pin him because HBK is down.
Yep.
Edge gets up. He grabs HBK, lifts him up, and slaps him. Boom. Super kick from HBK. Jericho hits a lion salt and pins him.
Yep.
And that's exactly what Edge was pissed off. He didn't even want to be in this match because of that shit.
Yeah, so Edge is the first one out.
Which is he's the first one out, which is one of my favorite things about Edge, because Edge is like, I don't even want to be in that fucking match. Fuck the title shot.
Yeah,
Fuck
he's like that guy in Clerks, I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Yeah. Yeah. He's the only guy who ever tried to get out of a title shot.
Right.
Then Triple H goes for a pedigree. He gets caught with the 3 German suplexes by
Mm-hmm.
Then he hits the headbutt off the top rope onto Triple H, and that might have been what did his brain in, because that shit was nasty.
Oh, dude. He did that move so many fucking times.
Yeah, so many times, yeah.
Yeah, they're actually saying that is the reason that he did what he did.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things you can't actually know that, but that
I would
didn't
like to
fucking
point
help.
out that Harley Race did that move for years and years and years. And
So did Dynamite Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just saying,
Yeah.
they didn't do what he did.
Right. So
Just
you
saying.
end up, Triple H ends up in a Walls of Jericho and a cross-face crippler.
Which was badass, dude.
That was really fucking cool. And you're like, oh my God, he's going to tap out. Because I actually kind of forgot how this match ended. I sort of knew, but I wasn't totally sure.
Yeah. And you're like, okay, that's it for Triple H, because that's 2 finishers on one fucking guy. Like, that should be game over.
Right. But
That's
boom.
gnarly. I'm watching that. Oh.
Countdown, gong,
It looks
Jaws
really good.
music.
I'll add him.
Yeah. Batista comes in and saves him after Charles Robinson, who replaced HBK, right? Or got involved in the match. No, Charles Robinson was in there for some fucking reason. I think, wasn't he?
I don't remember Charles Robinson.
Oh, no, Charles Robinson was on the outside of the cage undoing Batista's chain.
Yeah, they were trying to help the cage door open because it took a minute.
And he fucked up and Batista couldn't get out. He was having a hard time with the key.
I thought for sure they were setting that up to where Batista was just going to, rip the doors off of the fucking thing.
Yeah, but bust the plexiglass out.
Exactly.
Someone
that,
did.
yeah.
I think someone did that one time. So now Batista's in there. He's on fire, and he's right at the beginning of his babyface turn. Like, you can see he's going to turn babyface.
It's the slow burn face turn. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was cool because the crowd got behind him because of that smile of his. He didn't really do anything. He would just do a backstage promo, and at the end of it, he'd not smile at the camera, but smile at Triple H as he walked away. It was just that, kind of, I don't know how to describe it. But you're seeing a little bit of Batista's personality, and people loved him.
Yeah, it was a little smug, and like there was something behind the smile when he did it, like I'm gonna fuck you up later kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
the crowd ate it up. You're right.
Oh yeah, so he gets in and the crowd goes banana.
Yeah.
He cleans house and he ends up he and Triple H are the only ones up and they do a stare down and JR is like, Batista beat his ass and fucking live your dream and be champion. But everybody gets back in and attacks them both. Then Batista gorilla presses Jericho, throws him out of the ring onto the camera guy.
Yeah.
And I watched this so many times trying to figure out if this was a shoot or what. I think this was legit. I think it was a legit accident because I couldn't figure out a reason for this to happen.
Literally just saw.
Yeah. Well, they actually. Go ahead, Adam.
No, that's
I'll be right back. You guys cover this. I gotta pee.
That's a spot.
I'm actually enjoying Adam watching this while we're talking about it. Like, getting your live reaction to it is great, dude. We should do this more often. Like, don't watch the pay-per-views anymore. Let's just get your live reactions to the matches.
I want to know some stuff, but yeah.
This is more fun, dude.
This is turning into another happy accident that could work, but...
Yes, but like, to Eddie's point, I don't know if this was planned or not. Like, it looked so good. Like, he fucking wiped that guy out.
Unless just standard cameraman wearing all black, probably just blended with that corner of the pod. And now they're doing a replay on it. Fuck.
Yeah. See, that's what makes me think it's a plant, because they replayed it.
The way Jericho's arm was coming around when he was getting pressed, it looked like it was blocking Batista's way, but I would have figured that Batista knew that guy was there, but that was a nice throw right onto him, point blank. And the camera guy's down. Yeah. They have to open up the chamber.
They open up the chamber to come remove his body. Yeah, they're like, okay, let's get him out of here.
So I thought that because it's the first time you really see the chamber open, but they open it for Edge to get out.
They did.
I thought they'd do a bottom panel.
No, it's a whole section that opens up.
Okay. Or like the main door, that part I know for main entry, but I thought just to keep it closed, bottom panel if you're eliminated. Okay.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure if this was supposed to happen. It wasn't supposed to happen. I rewound it to see if that camera was hot. The camera was hot. And then I start seeing the guy, and there was this one camera guy back then, and it was him. It was definitely a camera guy. It wasn't like a local talent or something like that.
So it wasn't a plant?
No. Now, maybe it was set up and they used the real camera guy, but if you go before that match, if you go before that spot in the match and watch that, clearly the guy with the camera knows how to operate it. And because they cut to it all the time. And I recognize him. So I think this was legit because nothing came of it. You know what I mean? Like, they've done things before, like something will happen where they have to lift the cell and that's how guys get out of the cell.
Right.
Shit like that. But nothing really came of this at all because they open the cell to get him out, or open the cage to get him out, close it back in, and then they end up opening it later when people get eliminated. So I think this was legit. And he went down like he was out. I don't know if he was actually knocked out or if he had sense enough to sell it like he was out, because he's a wrestling guy. Like, he's been shooting WWE for 10 years, so he knows to do that. I don't really know. And I Googled it. I didn't think about it until a couple hours ago. I should look in one of Jericho's books because I wonder if he mentioned it in any of his books.
Good point.
That'd be the one place where I would think something would be said about it. But I couldn't figure out a reason for this to be set up.
So it was not a plant then?
No, it was definitely not a plant. It was the real camera guy, and I don't think it was done on purpose.
Okay.
Because all that came of it is them losing a camera.
And a cameraman.
Yeah. So that's all I know about that.
Wait, so you're saying that so there in this elimination chamber match, somebody did get injured?
Yeah, the cameraman.
Yeah. So we got Eugene, Lita, and the cameraman. Got it.
Yeah.
Rule of threes, baby.
And Kane's baby.
Yeah. Shit.
What a pay-per-view.
Jericho bulldogs Triple H on the outside, and now Triple H is busted open from his forehead.
Right.
So I think you're right. I think earlier the bridge of his nose was for real.
Yeah.
And this is where he actually, was supposed to get color.
Yep.
And then we get a couple quick eliminations. We get chops Batista. He takes a spine buster, and then Jericho gets spine bustered onto him, and he gets pinned.
Yeah.
And then Batista bombs Jericho, takes him out.
Yeah, so he's eliminating fools left and right now.
Right, boom, boom, boom. Yeah,
Cameraman,
exactly.
Jericho, Ben, or gone.
Yeah. So now you're down to Evolution is all that's left. And Evolution was the hottest fucking thing in the company 6-7 months ago.
Yep.
And this is the first time you see them all like in a face down like this.
And Flair's out there too. So literally you have the entire squad.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
This is like that don't try this at home commercial. Like Orton and H are hella bleeding. They've been in the match hella long. They're all fucked up. Batista's walking around like, let's do this.
Yeah, it's like when The Rock triumphantly strides to the ring and everybody else is fucked up. Yeah, totally. You guys are on stretchers and The Rock is like...
The Rock's walking away.
Yeah, strutting.
Looking hella cocky, yeah.
Yeah. Triple H right away takes another backdrop to the outside. This dude is bumping his ass off. I don't think I've ever seen Triple H get beat up the way he did in this match. I mean, he took more of a beating than I think any of them.
Yeah, like they would always talk about like the horrors of the chamber, but like Triple H really sold that shit in this match.
Totally, he really did. He got the match, he got the cage, he got the elimination chamber over.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Orton, he gives Orton a slingshot to the cage. He takes his time to let Orton get his blade out of his wrist tape. Did you catch that?
I did not catch that.
So Orton's not bleeding. He goes face first in the cage, comes down bleeding. So I was like, I'm going to rewind that and see if I can catch where he did it. I saw at 20, HBK did the same thing, took a slingshot to the post and bladed himself right before the slingshot.
Okay.
I rewound it on the DVD back in the day and caught it. So I was like, oh, okay, Orton's probably doing the same thing. And he did, except he did it during the slingshot, which actually seems dangerous. As opposed to doing it right before, you know what I mean? Like, blade slingshot. He does it mid slingshot, which it seems like there's a lot of room for error.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you could go way too deep trying to do that.
Right, you wind up like Eddie Guerrero after that chair shot from JBL.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah. So Triple H and Batista are both beating Orton down. Orton crotches Batista and he hits an RKO while Triple H is in the corner, and this is where the match gets really... This is where the storyline really comes out of it and sets up WrestleMania. Orton's pinning Batista. Triple H sees it. He starts to stand up to break up the pin, and he sits back down and lets Batista get pinned.
Yeah, so when you're watching at home or you're watching live in the crowd, you're like, okay, this is what's going to get replayed later that's really going to start the face turn.
Right, you're like, this motherfucker. Like, Batista's had his back for the last year and a half.
Yeah.
And all he had to do was go over there and break up that pin, and he didn't do it. Because he thought he could beat Orton, but he didn't think he could beat Batista. You know,
right. This is like Hogan carrying Miss Elizabeth back to the locker room so he can bang her.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Except Triple H probably didn't bang Orton, I assume.
That we're aware of.
Yeah, that we're aware of.
All we know is that Vipers keep popping out. So
he might have let Steph bang him.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got like that the fetish, like corny.
Right, yeah. Right, he's into outlaw mud shows.
Outlaw mud helmet shows.
So, Batista's out. Then RKO, Randy Orton hits an RKO on Triple H. And he's going to go for the pin, right? But Batista hasn't left the ring yet. He's
still
trying to get back in.
Yep.
He's trying to get back in. The door is open for him to leave. As he tries to get back in, while Orton's pinning Triple H, HBK is stopping Batista from getting in. Then Flair tries to get in. HBK goes over there and actually like beats up Ric Flair.
Starts beating the shit out of him.
He starts punching him.
It's like elder abuse.
Yeah, right.
Like, get out of here, Grandpa.
So he takes his attention off Batista. Batista gets in, clotheslines Orton, gets out of the ring. HBK turns around. Triple H hits a pedigree, gives him a wedgie, which is the second wedgie of the night. And 1, 2, 3, Triple H wins and is new champion.
Yep. Triple H is your champ. Now heading into WrestleMania.
Yeah, and we get a few replays of Triple H not helping Batista, and Jim Ross is bearing the shit out of him. You know, he could have fucking saved him and blah, blah, blah.
For as bad as the rest of the card was, the storytelling...
This match rules.
Oh, it was fantastic, dude. It's such a good as you would expect, right? It's the main event. It's what the entire pay-per-view is centered and based around. This match did not disappoint. Yes, you kind of had to sit through a shit show to get here, but the storytelling, the match itself, the performers involved, even it was amazing from start to finish. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it really was. It was a fucking great. I loved this match. Like about halfway through, and I really forgot a lot of it. You know, I didn't really remember much of it. But you get the setup for Edge and HBK, which they end up having a match at the Rumble.
Right?
You can go back and listen to that episode. We did that like a year ago, and we were at that show.
I was not.
Right? Oh, you weren't at that. Okay, I was at that in Fresno. That might have been the last time I was in Fresno. I think it was.
Yeah, you don't really want to go to Fresno.
Yeah, I mean, unless WrestleMania goes to Fresno.
Yeah,
yeah.
You can pass on it.
Yeah.
WrestleMania is not going to Fresno.
No, fuck no. WrestleMania is not going to Fresno.
Visalia,
no, we got
maybe,
2 places in California.
But no.
Or Tracy.
Hey.
Yeah, no. TNA might do their big pay-per-view of the year in Fresno. Which is the only place I ever went to a TNA show was at Fresno. But it was great because it set that match up, and then it totally sets up Triple H and Batista.
Yes.
It didn't really do anything for Jericho because Jericho, I believe, was in the Money in the Bank match this year.
Yes, he was.
As
was
wrestled,
Edge.
Edge was too. Orton wrestled Taker.
Yeah.
Batista's
And
got Triple H on his shoulders.
Right, sets that up, and I think was
also in the Money in the Bank.
Also in the Money in the Bank. Yeah. So, but you get the WrestleMania main event set up from it.
Yes.
And you get a really good Edge and HBK feud that didn't go that long, but you know, it's that setup. So I thought it was really well booked. I think all 6 guys earlier I called it 8 guys, it's 7 guys, huh?
It is 7.
Yeah, it's all 7 guys, including HBK, work their asses up, and especially Triple H. Like, Triple H got a lot of shit talked about him in this era. He worked his fucking ass off in this match. He took more bad bumps than anybody. So I love the match. So overall, since we have our new ranking system,
the 6-pack rating.
Yeah, the 6-pack rating on the strength of the main event, I'm going to give this 3 3/4 beers.
I'm with you. I'm right in that same neighborhood. I'm at 3.5.
Okay, yeah. If it was a mediocre main event, I'd give it like 2 beers.
It would be low, yes.
But the main event really saved the show. It's worth watching this show for that match. Like, skip all the other shit and go straight to this match. Fucking great match. And actually, I can't remember. I'd have to go watch some, but I can't off the top of my head think of an Elimination Chamber that I think was better.
Right. I mean, had they shown Candice's feet, we're talking maybe 4.25 stars on this, maybe even 4.5. But without that, solid main event, 3.5 beers for me.
I'm going to knock it to 3 because don't mess with your camera crew. They're helping you. They're only there to get coverage. You don't need to have human flesh thrown on them.
True. Yeah, this guy goes out of his way to go to Puerto Rico and you're throwing people at him.
That man has a family.
He does.
Rude.
Forgot to do this. Trish and Lita, second match of the night. I would say hotter than Taka versus Aguila, but yeah.
Yes.
Oh, but nowhere near as good of a match, obviously.
Yeah, in terms of appearance, yes.
Okay.
Definitely have them beat.
Well, I haven't seen Aguila without the mask, so I'm not prepared to commit to that assessment.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair.
You know? Yeah.
But
also, wasn't Lita was with Aguila, right? When she first showed up?
Essa
Rios.
Rios.
She was with Essa Rios.
Rios.
Essa Rios, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And
I think that's it for our wrong pay-per-view review.
I think we recovered nicely.
We can't.
Well done, Adam.
We can't. We literally did this shit twice now. What the absolute fuck?
And both of it was pay-per-views from 2005.
Yeah, that's the kiss of death.
Oh god.
No more 05 pay-per-views.
So if we do a 2005 pay-per-view, brace yourselves.
Yeah, who's going to watch the wrong WrestleMania when we do the 21 episode?
Oh, that's going to be great, dude.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought you meant the WrestleMania when I turned 21. There we go.
Oh, fuck. That would be 15 for me. Right? 15? 15?
Oh, shit. You're going to make...
Yeah, 15. That would have been like 9 for you, right, Scott?
Let's see. That would have been 21. That would have been 1995.
That'd be 11.
11. One of the worst of all time.
Yeah. Well, mine might be, well, depending on how you say it, like, is it the WrestleMania after you turn 21 or the year that you turn 21?
If it's the year I turn, that's 95. Otherwise, we're talking 96, which I'm okay with claiming 12.
Okay, if it's that's true. If it's the year I turned 21, it would be 15. If it's the year that I am 21, it would be 2000.
Oh, that was a good WrestleMania also.
2000 was pretty good. 2000. So I'm going with that.
Yeah, the first WrestleMania with no singles matches.
Right. Drunk fact.
I'd have to look. I don't know mine, but
what year did you turn 21?
How old am I?
Wasn't it 2008? Weren't you born in 87?
Yes, 2008.
So that'd be 24. WrestleMania 24.
Oh, that
24
was
is a good one.
You got us.
24
beat,
was
that
Detroit.
was Edge and Taker.
Edge and Taker, Flair, and HBK.
No, Edge and Taker would be Orlando.
Yeah, Orlando,
Okay.
28.
Oh, it was Orlando.
Oh, no,
that's right.
I'm sorry. Hold on, that's 24.
No, 24 would be Detroit.
Wait, 24? Yeah, 24 was Orlando. That was Orlando. 23 was Detroit. 24 was
23 was
Orlando.
Detroit.
23 is Detroit.
Yeah, it was Taker and Edge. It was Flair and HBK. It was Floyd, Money Mayweather, and Big Show.
Yep.
And it was JBL and Finley.
That's right.
throwing a trash can at Hornswoggle point blank.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was fucking
All
awesome.
right. Sweet. I heard there were there were fireworks in that show in the stands, but you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I have a good story about that. You know what? That won't be our next WrestleMania because our next WrestleMania I already have on the docket, but maybe that'll be the one after because we haven't done a lot of shows from that era.
Well, because they all started pushing like 5 hours.
No. That's several years before that. We just haven't done a lot of Ruthless Aggression era.
That is true.
Shows. Yeah, so maybe that'll be. So maybe I already have our next WrestleMania lined up. Maybe that'll be the one after.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, let's wrap this
up.
We'll get
to it, and that takes care of our show or at least their show and coverage of New Year's Revolution 2005, and then my live reaction. You know, in sports, you always do post-game reaction. I always say, here's my post-game reaction. Or something like that. So
I think we might be the first podcast to ever do a review / watch along.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
I mean, it was a watch along, skipping through, but Scott said it worked during one of your urination breaks. So, well,
I enjoyed it.
Let's see if this happens again, and if it does happen again, we'll see who fucked up.
We'll do our best. It'll be me.
Yeah, this hybrid model worked out pretty well. Wasn't planned, but I think it worked well.
Yeah, it's not the worst episode we've ever done. The Hogan, you know what I mean? We're never going to do worse than the Hogan titles reigns.
Or Tuesday in Texas.
But still, the last time we fucked it up with Unforgiven, that is still a fantastic episode. It's up there. That takes care of our coverage of the show. What'd you think of this pay-per-view when watching it? I didn't. And what'd you think of our coverage of it? Please let us know on the social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, wrestling_drunk. Please tell your family, friends, heels, and faces to like, share, and subscribe to our show. Please leave reviews so that, or keep pushing if Tim Apple prevents you, like, try to find a way to get that review posted, and then it gives us recognition boosts and whatnot, and we can keep this drunk wrestling adventure going. On behalf of Eddie and Scott, I'm Adam reminding all of you to enjoy your buzz, watch wrestling responsibly, drink like nobody's watching. We will see you all next time for another great episode. 1, 2, 3. Tell me the right fucking show next time.
Fucking disaster again.
5 head.